Well, my guide here at the rally is Dave Calderwood. Now, Dave, tell me, why are you qualified to tell me about building planes?
Well, first, I'm the editor of Flyer magazine, which deals with this sort of aeroplane all the time. I'm a pilot, so I fly, and the magazine's building its own kit plane at the moment, the Europa.
So you've got a lot of hands-on experience then?
We've had quite a bit. It's taken 5 years so far, nearly there though. 5
years? I haven't got 5 years, but I've clearly got the right bloke here. Now, I have found the plane that I'm quite interested in. I quite like this one.
You can fly one of these. This is the guy who flies this, Tom Maloney, boss of Transair. These are PPL.
Really?
Private pilot, yeah.
So Dave, how big is flying as a leisure activity?
Well, in the UK there are 30,000 licence holders, but the number's going up pretty rapidly. What with the increase in new microlights and other types of aircraft, kit planes coming around. In the US there are 750,000 licence holders. So that's really huge in the States.
Gosh, that is extraordinary. And I'm amazed here. I was expecting to find, like, you know, maybe 100 people bring their planes. But how many will come in here in a weekend?
Over the weekend, there should be 5,000 aircraft movements. And today, they're expecting just over 2,000 aircraft.
One of the incredible things here for me, Dave, is the sheer variety of aeroplanes. There are tiny ones, there are big ones, some with one engine, some with two engines. And it's very confusing. Just take me around the basics of what is available.
Well, you could go from a factory-built airplane like this one, the Cessna Cardinal, which is, this is a very expensive bit of kit. It's a very sophisticated airplane, lots of room inside, big engine.
How much Wonga?
That's be around $250,000 probably, brand new.
$250,000? I don't have anything like that.
Well, that's a bit cheaper than that. It's something like a Piper Warrior just here. This is a standard touring or training aircraft, four-seater,
right.
One single engine. New, depending on how much equipment you have in it, it could be up to £200,000. But second-hand, you can get one for $50,000.
And how old would that be?
Well, it'd be up to about 30 years old.
So that's almost a classic plane for 50 grand. That is still way over my budget. I'm talking more like kind of 35 grand, something like that.
Right, well, to 35 grand, you're really looking for a brand new aeroplane at a kit plane.
Okay. And do they look like a kind of plywood box then?
No, this is a kit plane here. This is a fantastic kit plane.
This?
This is a Berku.
It's a kit plane. It looks like some kind of jet fighter.
That's right. The guy who built it just had that in mind. That's why he's painted it silver.
But a bit advanced for me.
A bit too advanced for you. Yeah, I think you should come and have a look at some of these aircraft over here.
But I do like that. I really like that. What is this?
This is a French aeroplane, a Jodel D117.
Designed by the same Frenchman who designed those lovely little cars with the big fenders and the lights on the top, was it?
It was a particular period in French design, I think. So another wooden aeroplane.
A wooden?
Yep. Wooden structure inside the wing with a fabric covering, wooden sides to the aeroplane, just a bit of metal on the front and a Perspex cover.
God, very time-consuming though, presumably. I mean, and looks chalk and cheese to this, say.
Well, this is a brand new kit, the Dinero, another French kit, actually made on the same airfield where that one originated from.
Right.
This is made out of the latest materials, composites and plastics, and this is a real rocket ship compared to airplanes like that.
So this is quite fast.
Yes, a beautiful performing airplane.
I mean, but really, am I capable of building something like this? As somebody who's never built a plane, I've got basic kind of ability in building cars, that kind of stuff, but...
If you've had any kind of construction ability at all, then you could do it. If you're only good at home decorating or tinkering with the car, you could build your own aeroplane.
That's extraordinary, though. So there's a whole variety of people who do it, presumably.
Yes, as people have always wanted an aeroplane, and this is the only way they can get into it because it's from a cost point of view.
Look at this!
Yeah, that's a piece.
Now that is the business. What are the advantages but also disadvantages of building a kit plane? I mean, obviously on the advantage side, apart from the cost, because you're going to be able to do it cheaper.
Well, the big advantage of having a kit plane, of course, is you get to choose the aeroplane you want. Whether it's a two-seat side-by-side aeroplane that can go in and out of short fields, or whether you want something that's a real rocket ship and can go 200 miles an hour. When you've built your own aircraft, the PFA say and the CAA say, because you're the constructor of the aircraft, you know more about it and you can look after it yourself. And that's a huge advantage. You haven't got to pay some engineering shop to do all the work for you.
So hang on, so if you owned your own plane that you'd bought from a factory, you couldn't touch it in terms of repairing it or anything. It would have to be done by a certified aeroplane mechanic.
That's right. You can do minor things, but nothing major. So, for instance, if you were flying 200 flying hours a year, you'd probably spend something in the region of £2,000 to £2,500 on maintenance alone. Now, if you had your own aircraft and were doing the work yourself, that would probably come down to about £400.
Gosh, that's a huge difference.
Yeah, that's sort of changing the oil, changing the filters, changing the spark plugs, that sort of thing.
And I mean, it's the fun of that as well. I mean, for me, part of the whole thing about wanting to build a plane is the process of, can I build something I can fly? There's almost something really pioneering about that.
That's right. Yeah, there's a huge amount of enjoyment to be had out of looking after it as well.
Absolutely. What about the downside, though? There is always a downside.
There is a downside. The big downside with kit planes is the sheer time it takes to build the thing in the first place. There's a legal requirement for a minimum of 500 hours for the aircraft to be a kit plane. So that's how long you've got to spend on it. But some of them, some of these Europas, for instance, where there's a lot of glass fibre work to do and finishing to do, can be anything up to 2,500 man-hours of work.
Gosh, a lot of labour.
That's a lot of labour.
But very enjoyable. I mean, I don't mind the graft, but obviously what I'm looking to is the finished result as well, and what I can do with it. You know, what kind of fun can I have with my own plane in terms of leisure, activities, that kind of stuff. You know, I want to be able to do what that guy's doing. I want to be able to take off, fly, see my friends, do stuff. I mean, can I do that?
Of course you can, yeah. There's a huge social structure attached to flying. Because most people belong to a flying club, if you're building your own aeroplane, you'll be a member of the PFA, and there's local clubs everywhere. But even at your local airfield, there's a flying club, and you always have a social side to it.
Why do you think I should end up choosing this out of the options I'm looking at?
Well, I haven't got any connection with Europa Aviation, but I haven't had so much fun since I started flying this little machine. It's a motorbike in the skies. You can build it yourself. It took me 2.5 years. I never thought I'd finish, but there's an incredible gang in the club. We've all made mistakes. We've written a book with all the different things that you go wrong or you don't understand. There's a whole network of people that you can get in touch with to help you with problems. And eventually the 2.5 years is over and you get in it for the first time, and it's like giving birth. I mean, I'm only a humble bloke, but I mean, when you give birth to an aeroplane, you fly yourself, it's the most magical moment of your life. You know, you get into this thing and you take off and it handles like a little fighter. I've just come back from Prague. I've been with the club. We went to Benesov in the Czech Republic. We went all over Eastern Europe, basically, at about 50 miles to the gallon. It was a doddle. I mean, it beats motoring. We come from all different walks of life, so we've got lots of things to talk about. We've got flying in common.
What was the very best bit of flying this plane for you so far?
First time I landed it on my own. You know, it was just... all I could say was, why is there no one around to see me? Look what I'd done, you know? It's terrible, but it's how I felt. It's as close as I'll get to giving birth. I mean, it's just wonderful.
So, buy yourself a plane, build it yourself, and you get about 10 bucket loads of adrenaline thrown in. What a bargain. Well, that's it for part one. Join me after the break when I'll be meeting some of the kit plane manufacturers. See you in a mo.
Meet the architects who are prepared to move mountains to create some of the most spectacular engineering achievements in the world. Extreme Engineering starts Thursday at 9 on Discovery and Discovery HD.
The better the kids' pool, the quieter the adult pool. Everyone's taken care of. That's why we're first choice.
Madam, we say golf or similar.
It's nothing like a golf.
Like a golf, but not a golf, but a hatchback.
Yep. Just handle like a golf.
Baffled sump, double overhead cam.
Oh yeah, like a golf.
And if you listen carefully, it sounds just like a golf.
Now you can avoid unexpected boiler repair costs. Look after your world with home care from British Gas. Call 0800 316 5000.
From the director of Juno.
You're awfully isolated the way you live.
Isolated and surrounded. Comes a first-class comedy. Nominated for 6 Golden Globes, including Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Actor for George Clooney.
Everybody needs a co-pilot. That was a nice touch. Thanks.
Up in the air.
The home bay sale is now on. Selected lighting, paint and furniture are now half price. Like this Helidon dining table and 4 chairs, now under £200. And there's a third off selected flooring and tiling. Great sale prices at Homebase.
Look how much the insurance has gone up this year.
What do we do?
Go compare! Go compare! Don't get mad, don't be had, go compare! It's very boring when costs are soaring!
Sounds good to me.
So you thank your stars that you went to Go Compare.
Salter, Salter on my floor, who's the fairest of them all?
Good work. You're closer to your goal.
And this time?
Great improvement.
And now, Salter, who's the fairest of them all?
Salter scales at leading retailers with up to 50% off this January.
With SwiftCover.com, you can get a car insurance quote in just 60 seconds, so you get more time.
To rock!
It's 100% online. Your documents are stored online. There's no waiting in line, so you get more time.
To party!
Actually, I was thinking of playing a little golf.
Golf sucks, man!
With SwiftCover.com, you get a lot more me time.
Yeah, I love me! Oh, me!
Get a life. Get SwiftCover.
People going places, smiling with electric faces. Life is love. Turn a neon rainbow, a neon rainbow.
Join TalkTalk and the millions of homes that have saved millions of pounds by switching to brighter broadband. TalkTalk, brighter phone and broadband.
A hot rod, powered with rocket fuel. A woman driver. What could possibly go wrong? Brand new